Apex Legends.
It's a battle royale game. It's still set in the Titanfall universe, roughly about 30 years after the events of Titanfall 2, out in the outer lands or whatever. I was gonna say outer worlds, but that's a whole other place and publisher and developer. But yeah, it's surprisingly good, especially for a free-to-play thing. I would argue it's between like the big three that are currently out there right now. You know, PUBG, Fortnite, and Call of Duty Ghost or Blackout Mode or whatever the hell it's called. I would rank this probably second to Fortnite, only just because I feel like Fortnite is more heavy right now in terms of content. There's more going on. There's constantly a new map change with each new season. And PUBG is just kind of gone stale for me, and I haven't played Ghosts since the time we...
Blackout.
Oh, Jesus, Ghost. Fucking the Call of Duty one, since like when we worked on the review for that. So I mean, that summed up.
Yeah,
that.
I mean, we had that whole discussion on Impulse last year, and I played it a bit, but I don't know what happened with Blackout. It just kind of lost its charm.
But that's the thing, though. It's a mode within a game. It's not the core focus, and so they never updated it. It was like, here it is. Here's Blackout mode. That's it. It's not going to change because they needed an excuse to put a new one in the next game.
Well,
so why would they continually update this one when they need to have at least another Battle Royale mode in the next Call of Duty?
they did say that they were supposed to add something to it, but, you know, who knows what's going on with that. And it doesn't really matter. Like, Blackout's good,
Whereas,
but it could be better.
I feel like Fortnite, and specifically with Apex Legends, that free-to-play model works better for them.
Yeah, the free-to-play thing with Apex Legends is the only reason I'm playing it, because if it were a paid thing, you know, I haven't bought an EA game in 7 or 8 years, so I wouldn't start now.
Yeah, I think the last EA game that I went out of my way to buy was Star Wars Battlefront 1. Their take on it, the DICE take on it.
Mine was SSX. So, yeah, it's been a while. And, you know, maybe that's not fair to someone like Respawn who's been putting out good work with Titanfall, but...
It's telling when they went out of their way to stress that, like, EA had no creative say in this game. If I have any complaints right now about Apex, is that it is pretty light on content.
Yes.
At the moment, when you first start it up, you only have access to 6 heroes, or legends, sorry. 2 of them are pretty much tied behind a paywall.
Oh, yeah, it's a serious grind.
It depends. Like, if you're pretty damn good at the game, and you are consistently getting a bunch of kills, you'll be earning a ton of credits, and it'll only take you a couple hours. But if you're pretty mediocre or even bad, it could probably take upwards of a couple of days. Or you can just, you know, drop the money for it. But the thing is, they've divided up the Apex coins into the cheapest pack, I think being about 1,000, which is like $12 Canadian, $10 USD. It's like either way, you're going to be at least spending $10 to get a single character. And then by that point, you're like, oh, I might as well just buy the 2,000 pack to get both. And you can kind of see where they're going with that, and I feel like that'll be the way they make their money with new seasons and new characters and new legends. And probably new weapons, stuff like that. And the skins! Holy shit, the skin prices!
Yeah, they're pretty bad. Especially even just the guns.
1,800 Apex coins! That's $18 for a skin! Not even both either. Like, if you want to buy the skin for the character and the weapon skin to match with it, you're going to be spending $36. Yikes. That's where I kind of have some issues with Apex. It seems a tiny bit scummy to maybe lock away those 2 characters from the get-go. Like, I would get it with new characters down the road. We're like, hey, here's a brand new character. But, like, from the get-go, characters that are advertised in the trailers, like Mirage, he's heavily in the trailer. And he's just kind of, he's not really available from the get-go.
Yeah.
It's a little weird.
I know it seems petty to complain about a free-to-play game where it's like, I have to spend money. Like, they got to make money somehow, but... I don't know why it's $10 per character. I could get like 4 games on Steam for that.
Technically, it's not. It's like, I think it's like 700 Apex credits, but you can only buy.
No, they're 12,000 Apex credits.
No, they're 12,000 of the.
Of the in-game currency. That's right. You're right.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, there's 3 currencies, and I don't know how to get one of them. And not the pay one. Like, there's another one that I don't know how to acquire.
Yeah, there's 2 currencies you can earn. One is for crafting things, so one of them is just like a crafting material stuff where you can just craft specific skins.
Oh, okay.
So say you don't want to go through the loot box system, and there's a specific skin you want for that weapon, you can save up enough crafting materials to then eventually just make that skin, instead of having to potentially open a bajillion loot boxes, just hope you get it.
Yeah. Reminds me of the stuff that Infinity Ward kind of made with Call of Duty 4, where you'd work towards a specific goal. Just that now it's with a friggin' free-to-play microtransaction-laden experience.
Yeah, and the biggest change is the fact that it's a squad-based game. There's no solo play option, which I'm a tiny bit annoyed by, but I see why that there's no solo play option.
Yeah,
I don't think there's enough Legends to really support it.
When I started, I was with you, I was like, what if I just want to play solo? But now that I see it, like, it wouldn't really make sense for the type of game it is.
Yeah, you have characters like, I think your name's Pulse or something. I don't know, the healing character, the medical character.
And I was just playing robot. Her too, and I don't remember.
Her character specifically probably wouldn't work all that well in solo unless you like potentially healed yourself. It just feels like a character that's geared towards playing in a squad. Same with the big Samoan shield guy. Like, unless you're just putting down that shield for yourself, alright, I guess. Whereas other characters like the robot with like who can shoot the
grappling hooks and
the grappling hooks and whatnot, yeah, that character would be fine in single player, as well as Wraith and whatnot, and even Mirage. So those characters I think would work fine in a solo mode. And I think maybe once they double the roster or so, like once there's a solid like 16 different characters to choose from, then yeah, hey, sure, maybe throw in a solo mode. But for the squad stuff specifically, the way it works too, they really balance the game around that stuff as well. It's not just like you're going into duos like in PUBG or something, or squads in PUBG. It's heavily designed around that squad aspect.
Yeah.
From selecting stuff with like the tagging system, tagging weapons, tagging locations, tagging enemies, and letting your squad know where they are, to even like really little audio cues that do really well. Like I noticed when you wipe out a squad, one of the characters will specifically bring up "squad eliminated," which kind of like clues you in that, hey, this squad is done. We can loot their bodies. That's a neat little touch.
Yeah, and I do like that. When your teammates ping something, you can even thank them if you don't have a microphone. Like it's these stupid little things that they just help for that multiplayer team-based aspect.
Even the respawning mechanic is pretty neat. If one of your teammates die, you can essentially go and get one of their tags or whatever, and if you go to a respawn point, you can then respawn them. Which, in the late game when the circle is really small, and you take that risk of potentially respawning your entire team if you're the last one left, that can be the deciding factor.
I haven't seen it play into it like that, but I mean, it's a nice change to the formula instead of just you're out and that's it. Because, I mean, one of the biggest problems with PUBG is that if you do somehow manage to last to the top 10, matches are going on for like half a freaking hour, and then you just die from someone who the hell knows where, and game over, you're done. When I won my one match so far, it took 18 minutes, and I mean, that's a little long, but, you know, there's constantly people, like the map's smaller and the player size is even cut down, but it doesn't feel like it's cut down just because they couldn't support it. They were going for a specific, limit, and it helps the flow of the game.
I feel like they did a lot of testing with that. They played around with probably how many encounters you might have every couple of minutes. Because it feels like that. It feels like at least every couple of minutes you will run into at least another team.
Yeah, and you don't need 100 players. Like, that's a cool limit to shoot for, but, PUBG has 100 players and you barely ever see anyone. So, yeah, like, they gotta mix it up somehow, and I think Apex Legends has hit the perfect threshold. Like, Call of Duty's maybe a little too action-packed, but, this one, it feels like you have some of that downtime. You kill the squad, you can loot a little, and then you move on and find someone else.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are drawing comparisons to Blackout mode, and I just see why, because the inventory stuff is identical, which is good, because that inventory system was great. But, I don't know, I feel like, despite this being a free-to-play game, I feel like this is a better Battle Royale.
Yeah, I mean, like, even the little stuff, like, you look at a piece of armor on the ground, and if you're wearing something better, the game tells you you have a better piece equipped. And this, like, your attachments, it'll tell you if it works for your gun, so if you don't need it, keep going. If you pick up another gun, like, you want to swap, and your attachments are compatible with it, it automatically swaps them. Stuff like that is just great.
Arguably, this could be EA's like biggest release of the year potentially, outside of the Star Wars game, which is also from Respawn. So.
And apparently is not Battlefront 3.
But what do you folks think of Apex? Have you played it? Have you not? Do you hate it? Do you want Titanfall 3? Let us know down below.